Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, aka the Super Bowl champions. Unfortunately for the National Football League, this team isn't going anywhere, and I don't mean they're going to have a bad season. I mean they're going to continue to be dominant. Obviously, you have MVP Mahomes, you have Andy Reid, you have Travis Kelce. This team on paper isn't really going to be bad in any way, shape, or form, but the naysayers like to look at their offseason as a whole and be like, all right, well, you know what? They lost Orlando Brown Jr., they lost Juan Thornhill, they lost Juju, they lost Andrew Wiley, they lost a bunch of players, blah, 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 blah. That's all I'm hearing. What I'm thinking to myself is, what about Jawan Taylor? What about Mr. Donovan Smith? That was a sneaky, more recent signing. Richie James, welcome to the team. Charles Omenihu. Oh, you've been feasting in limited playing time in Houston. Here's a more solidified role if you're up for it. Mike Edwards, welcome to Kansas City. Drew Tranquill, my Notre Dame boy, welcome to Kansas City. Blaine Gabbert, the re-signing of Jerick McKinnon. Listen, man. The Chiefs last offseason, if we turn back the clock one whole year ago, oh my God, they lost Tyreek Hill. What do they respond with? Well, obviously they responded with a Super Bowl win, but Mr. Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league, is like, all right, let me just grab another MVP trophy really quickly. I think a good word to describe Kansas City's offense, more specifically their wide receiver room, is sneaky. I think they're sneaky good. We're going to talk about that in tonight's video. But before we do, Chiefs fans, Chiefs Kingdom, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, that sub button. I post daily NFL content along with a bunch of Chiefs videos every single week. So 250 likes, I appreciate you guys so much. Chiefs Kingdom, you guys have treated me very well since I first started making Chiefs videos. And I appreciate all the reoccurring support and love to welcome new subscribers to the community. I want to pinpoint the wide receiver room really quickly, all right? And not really quickly, because there's a cat, and this cat's name is Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice, by the end of the season, might be the Chiefs' #1 wide receiver. I just want to get that out there. I want to get that out on video, on audio, just so it's in the vault, right? Rashee Rice is a freaking stud. But we'll start with the loss of Juju Smith-Schuster. And I just want to reiterate the point that they lost Tyreek Hill about a year, or a little over a year ago, whatever it was. And they countered with a Super Bowl win and MVP season from Mahomes. So, to go back to the start of the video, anytime you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid on the same football team, your team's going to be pretty damn competitive. All right? Pretty competitive. And then we're going to sprinkle in the best tight end of all time in Travis Kelce. But I want to pinpoint two players specifically on this Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver depth chart. Outside of MVS, outside of Kadarius Toney, because I think Kadarius Toney is a secret weapon. I think he's a wild card. I think he's an X factor as long as he stays healthy. Sky Moore, rookie season, was solid. But I just want to reiterate the point. He was picked in the second round for a good reason. Before we get into Rashee Rice, Justin Ross. All right, Justin Ross is about to have a breakout season. Like, quite literally, Justin Ross is about to have a breakout season from Clemson. I'm all aboard the hype train, and I know Chiefs fans are feeling the same way about it. So let's talk about Rashee Rice real quick. All right, this past season at SMU, a college I actually considered, 1,355 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. Now, is he going to replicate those stats here in Kansas City in his rookie season? Probably not. That would be an incredible Pro Bowl type of season. But he has pretty much the same kind of characteristics as Juju almost. Rashee is 6'1". He's 204 pounds. He's a very physical receiver. He's very creative. He's very versatile. He's going to help Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes add another element to their already extremely versatile and creative offense. I'm telling you, man, Rashee Rice, by the end of the season, at worst, will be a reliable wide receiver. I can't tell you. I mean, he hit the jackpot here, man. You know, Patrick Mahomes is a freaking stud, but I guarantee you, by the end of this season, the Chiefs will be in the playoffs, obviously, and you'll be looking at Rashee Rice and you'll be thinking to yourself, wow, how did the Chiefs get Rashee Rice? Pair him up with X Factor's Kadarius Toney, and I'm going to just say Justin Ross, to me, is an X Factor. So I look at the receiving unit, which is like the big, it's almost like an ick for Chiefs hate. I don't even want to use the word haters, but like non-supporters or skeptics rather. You lost Tyreek Hill, and now you lost Juju, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't an issue last year. Why is it going to be an issue this year? MVS is reliable, all right? I'm a cheesehead, so I'm a little bit biased here. I love my Green Bay Packers, and I miss MVS, and I'm glad he's got a Super Bowl ring with the Kansas City Chiefs. Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, Richie James, the re-signing of Justin Watson, Rashee Rice, Justin Ross. Like, the list goes on and on. I don't even need a player like DeAndre Hopkins, but I will sprinkle in really quickly. If the Chiefs made a trade for DeAndre Hopkins, and we've talked about this time and time again on this channel all offseason because I still think they should do it, oh my freaking goodness, it would be game over. I guarantee if the Kansas City Chiefs got DeAndre Hopkins, it would be game over. If you get a healthy DeAndre Hopkins with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, it's game over. All right? And welcome to the team, Jawan Taylor, Donovan Smith. That Donovan Smith signing has gone so under the radar. It's actually a little ridiculous. You know, I've seen outside of the wide receiver unit, and also really quickly as again, Jerick McKinnon, the re-signing of Jerick McKinnon, oh my goodness, you can't even evaluate that move on paper. Jerick McKinnon, especially once we get towards the end of the season, because you want to keep Isaiah Pacheco healthy, right? It's a big move. Now, I've seen some people saying, some naysayers saying, you know, you still need to land an interior defensive lineman. There's plenty of there's honestly plenty of veteran free agents, and young free agents out there that Kansas City could and probably will still look into a little bit. But I gotta say, I agree with Nick Bolton here. Nick Bolton, freaking stud, might I add. We talked about him all last season because he is so underrated. He is feeling good. Here was his quote: our defense is definitely hungry. We don't get the respect we deserve. Over the years, the 3-4 years I've been here and I've been watching from Mizzou, the Chiefs defense doesn't get the recognition it deserves, myself included. So there's a hungry aspect of it. I can tell you, I'm hungry as ever. And I agree with Nick Bolton here. The Chiefs defense is severely underrated. I mean, they had so many new faces on this defense last season, but nobody's sitting here saying, oh my goodness, in the playoffs, that defense was a huge liability. There are so many day one rookies that they selected last year, or just even newly free agents or newer additions breaking out from the draft. That Chiefs defense really stepped up. And I remember sitting back here on the microphone saying, who was it? Of course, I can't think of the guy who was saying at the end of the season, listen, guys, you aren't rookies anymore. You've had a whole season under your neck. It's go time. And what happened? Well, the result was a Super Bowl win. So offensively, I'm feeling fine. Defensively, I'm feeling fine. I have a hard time imagining a world where Kansas City isn't at least in the contention to win another Super Bowl, to go back to back here. I don't think too many people are actually arguing that fact. But once again, that wide receiver unit, there's no crazy big names. I'm telling you, Kadarius Toney is a pretty big freaking name in my opinion. As long as he's healthy, as long as he's on the field, Kadarius Toney's a pretty big freaking name. I have no concerns with Kansas City. They're well coached. They have a great personnel. They've got a great roster. Kansas City's got everything. That's it for today, man. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content, Chiefs fans, Chief Kingdom. I appreciate you guys watching this, NFL fans around the world. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs offense down below. I want to hear some propaganda. I want to hear some hype propaganda for Justin Ross, all right? Rashee Rice, throw it all in the comment section. But more importantly, guys, give me a win-loss projection on the Kansas City Chiefs this upcoming season. Hit that like button, hit that sub button.